I don't know if it's just luck. I don't like to use the word luck in my life. I've changed it to the word fortunate, by the way. So think about those two words, fortunate, luck. Luck means you have no control over it, really. Fortunate is you choose it. Maybe I'm fortunate and didn't have anything else. So I never took hormones. Nothing. So
we were saying before we started recording, and you're probably not going to want me to mention this, but I will anyway, is because we don't know, right? But is what would have happened if you hadn't have changed your lifestyle from, so when people go back and listen to the first podcast that was spoken to, and you completely overhauled your lifestyle, lost a load of weight and all that when you were 40.
Right.
If you hadn't have done that, we don't know what would have happened, but it would be interesting to do a sliding doors type thing and see what would have happened, because when you say fortunate, that is a great thing you've just said there, to say fortunate. You decided, you made that decision, you had control of that to change your lifestyle. And in my mind, that would have that would make a huge difference. But we'll the
only thing that I can compare it to, and I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, because I think we did kind of just touch on menopause a little bit, is my sister, who's a year older than me. She was always the skinny sister. She's now bigger through the middle than any place else. And she actually asked me one time, like, how come you don't have this, And I said, you got to do some kind of weight training. Like, you got to, like, in my book, I talk about that internal mannequin, right? You got to build that muscular mannequin underneath your skin. That's in my book, I use the analogy of taking a dress and hanging it on a wire hanger, or placing that dress over a mannequin. So when you have a dramatic weight loss, you're hanging the dress on a hanger and the skin is just, falling. Whereas if you put that skin on a mannequin that's developed in, shape, then that dress is going to have shape. It still might have a few wrinkles.
Do you know what? I had I was out last week with a friend he's 50. He's nearly 51. Okay, so he's not old, but he's got a sore back and all of this. And you know what it's like with you've got your clients, you've got your students and all that, and you have a chat with them and they listen to you, but your friends don't, right? Even though you know what you're talking about. So he was going on about, he's like, we were just sitting having a drink, and he was like, oh, my back's really sore right now. Like, he goes, it's just permanently sore. And he cycles a lot, and he plays a bit of tennis, but he's basically a skeleton with some skin on. He's got no muscle. He doesn't do any weight training or anything like that. And it's like, and I was basically saying, you need to build your strength, because you're not old. Because he was like, oh, it's just age. It's just age. That's why my back's sore. And I was like, it's not. And you can reverse it by, putting some muscle on and what have you, because at his age, he will be losing muscle, right? And or he will have been for the last 20 years. And that's the thing. That's pretty much, that's just what you've just said made me think of that, of like, he's got nothing underneath. He is that wire frame.
Yeah. But you touched on something. If you all have not seen Mark's lecture on sarcopenia on YouTube, if you haven't seen it, I swear to God, he was brilliant in that lecture. But it's about sarcopenia, muscle loss as we get older. Yeah. How many times do we, not even near the gym or around our fitness friends, but maybe just sitting with your dog on a bench someplace, and somebody's walking by saying, oh, I'm having this problem. It's just old age. It's just old age. Like, it's not just old age,
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean you can't do something about it. I was sitting with my granddaughter she had her doctor's appointment, and this older couple came walking out, and the wife said, they're older, like elderly. And the wife says, oh, did you tell the doctor about your sciatica? And they were having that kind of conversation. I was thinking, you don't have to just throw your hands up in the air and say, oh, it's because I'm old. you know, yes, it is because you're old, but that doesn't mean you can't do something about it. And his lecture on sarcopenia actually shows a 80-year-old, the cross section of the thigh of an 80-year-old who doesn't do any exercise, and the muscle is like this big, and the legs this big, and then an 80-year-old triathlete where the muscle is filled in. So, you know, you absolutely can do something about getting weaker